Welcome to the ever-expanding void, where monsters roam free. And the only one who can light their way once more is the Aethermancer. This world is full of monsters, with endless ways to combine their strengths. So, delve into the void. Ignite your monster's true potential. Become the Aethermancer.
Welcome back to yet another fantastic game showcase. I am wondering once again, or Anna, as you prefer, and I bring you today Aethermancer, which is a very interesting game, as you are about to see. Now, I have with me Stefan, who
Hello.
is Q&A specifically in terms of location and game designer. So first of all, welcome, Stefan. I'm loving the keyblades on the background. By the
Thanks.
way.
Yeah, big Kingdom Hearts fan.
And I would like to start off by, to understand, so that people here understand a little bit about your role in the game, before we jump into Aethermancer itself.
All right. Glad to be here. I'm Stefan Schreiber. I'm QA and game designer on Aethermancer, as we mentioned. And in QA terms, I mostly focus on localization management. And in game design, I work on a lot of different stuff. For example, I think the longest I worked on was on our final boss for our early access. And that was a lot of fun. And I, for example, lead cutscenes and write cutscenes for our game, or lead the implementation of them. And I sometimes help out in level design, and oftentimes also help out and work on narrative design. And
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Now, as we jump into Aethermancer itself, I always try to make this challenge to everyone that we bring here, which is, in one sentence, describe me, Aethermancer, but for someone who will play it.
All right. It's a monster taming roguelite RPG with 3v3 combat, where you take on the control of the Aethermancer Sirius, delving into the ever-expanding, world-threatening void, which, well, basically threatens to destroy Terra's Day if uncared for.
Okay. That was a little bit longer than one sentence, but I will definitely accept that.
I'm sorry.
So I'm taking here a run that has a little bit of more things to show than just the things that you come up in the beginning. So first of all, I want to hear your inspirations for Aethermancer.
All right. At first, the previous game we did was Monster Sanctuary, and that was also already a combination of monster taming, but with Metroidvania. And that was pretty popular. And for a sequel, we wanted to still do a monster genre combination, but not with Metroidvania and not Monster Sanctuary 2, but something different, something unique in its own way. And we like roguelikes and roguelites. So we came upon the decision when talking in the team. To be quite honest, that was a bit before my time when I joined the company, but I talked quite a lot with the team about that one. And we decided on, or they decided on going for a monster taming roguelite RPG. A bit inspired from JRPGs with the 3v3 combat, just as Monster Sanctuary. Yes.
Okay, so I will start in normals, otherwise I don't think this will go that much that good. I will start with Warden because I love this little guy here. And I wanted to ask you, coming into this specific one, what were the main challenges into building a roguelike monster tamer?
Well, yeah, it's basically the opposites, let's say, because in roguelites you always, well, in roguelikes you always start completely fresh. So with no meta progression, basically. So that's how we decided to go with Roguelite, where we have some meta progression.
Yeah.
Because Monster Tamer is basically all meta progression. You catch monsters, you train them, they level up, you broaden your selection or expand your selection, and roguelites have meta progression in of itself themselves. Yeah, and it was a bit difficult because usually for how we implemented that, we wanted to have like each run be unique in terms of what kind of monsters you have the choice to get.
Yeah.
But still you need to unlock them first. I think that was like one of the biggest hurdles to get that working, to not have the bigger selection be harder, for example, but easier in other terms, because a roguelite usually through meta progression gets easier. And how we did that was we have our selected pool. Each monster shrine has a certain number of monsters you can summon, depending on your souls, your count of souls. For example, you have 2 at the moment. So each subsequent monster shrine will show you 2 of the monsters you have. And the way we made that is when you stagger a monster, like Ooze here, for example, you can use a memento, a blank memento, to capture its essence. And yes, here. And through that, you craft a memento of that monster, and once it dies, or once you have a memento, basically, and you reach a monster shrine, depending on the amount of souls and the amounts of mementos, the memento is your pool of what you have, and the souls select from that. And we unlock further meta upgrades, which can be bought in town, and upgrade your durability of your monsters, or power, or corruption you gain. We can come to that later. But the more mementos you have, basically, the more upgrades you can unlock, the more powerful you can get, and the more choices you have also. And we have a way, taking a bit of stuff ahead, we have a way of combining the powers of all different monsters, because our skills are uniquely selected. And I think that helps a lot.
Okay, that is pretty nice. So I'm going with this for this guy here. So essentially we are taking so the steps of these Aethermancer. Can you tell me a little bit about how he came to be, and what was
how Syriux came to be our Aethermancer? Or
yes. So what is it special about this character, and about,
Aethermancers in general, for example?
Yeah.
Yes, Aethermancer is. They are a race. You can. I can't tell too much without taking too much away from the story or the narrative. I can say that that Sirius, for example, the one we play, is known as a rogue Aethermancer. Because they decided, first of all, Aethermancers are genderless. They have, due to earlier times in their life, though, they lean towards a certain direction. Sirix, for example, is rather old and very focused on their monsters. Not all Aethermancers are focused on their monsters as much or bond to them as much.
Right.
And Aethermancer or Sirix cherishes their bond with their monsters quite strongly due to the way they became an Aethermancer. And each Aethermancer can basically use ether, or has almost unlimited. They're made up of ether. That's why they have the name Aethermancer. They can bond monsters. They basically were created. I can at least say this much: they were created to enable monsters to gain worthiness. Because in Aethermancer, in the game Aethermancer and the world Terrastae, each soul has worthiness. That's what we see, for example, here.
Right.
And depending on the amount of worthiness, your soul, after death, gets reborn as a higher living being or a lower living being. And the lowest ones are monsters. And they are stuck in an endless cycle of death and rebirth as a monster without Aethermancers. Because monsters are punished to not be able to gather worthiness due to their previous lives, due to some things they did in previous lives. And Sirix, or the Aethermancers in general, were created to allow them, to enable them, to guide them to gather worthiness. And Sirius takes that role very much to heart.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I have here a question in chat, which is this in the same universe as Monster Sanctuary?
No, it's in a different universe.
It's completely different. Okay. Just to make sure.
Yes. We do have a crossover monster in here. But it's in a separate universe. It's treated separately.
Okay. So right now, what I would love to hear is, at one side, how did you what made you have fun, and that you are particularly proud about this game? You know, is there something in particular that...
In general, about the game?
Yes. And about
I'd say the unique combination. We have a dynamic dialogue system, for example, that makes NPCs react to what monsters you carry with you, for example. If you have there's one monster which is basically Grimoire, a burning book, and one of the NPCs, Tiberian, a knight, reacts to Grimoire and says, "I don't know if I should draw attention to you, but in case you haven't noticed, your book is on fire." And it's so fun writing all of that and having that in there. And also, I think one of the biggest things in our game, I've previously just shortly briefly touched upon that, is our leveling up system. I think after this fight you should level up, right? not paid full attention when I was
I
ramping.
think no. I think only in the next one.
Oh, okay.
I think only in the next one. Yeah.
Basically, how we mentioned to combine the randomness of Roguelite and monster taming was by having each monster have 3 types. For example, Warden has tank. I believe tank, purge, and weakness. And each of those 3 monsters have different types or share some of those types. We have in the demo, I believe, 17 types, and in the early access we have 19 types. We are still adding types also, and these types have a pool of tank. For example, for Cheruf, it's tank, it's critical, purge, and burn. And I think with all those 3 monsters, we have no overlap. We have tank overlap.
We have.
For example, here in critical in with Tetsuburn, which is the enemy, sadly though. But these work like that. If you level up, you have a choice of 3, in which skills you are provided, and you have either, depending on your level you get to, you either get offered an action you can actively use on the right in combat, or a trait, a passive effect that is always active. And these are picked from the 3 types your monster has. And depending on what your monster picked previously and what you have through actions and traits, there's a weight-based system which will lean more to give you what you already have in order to drill down, for example, on something.
Okay, that is actually a good thing to know.
I can also mention something if you don't want to talk about something else.
No, go ahead.
Okay. We also have Maverick traits. This is how we make sure that you can combine types and not only have to play, for example, 1 or 2 to be strong. And these Maverick traits are made up of 2 types, combining both of their strengths. And they are bridges to enable you to combine all different kinds of combinations. For example, we have an early access 19, and pretty much, I believe almost all of them have combination possibilities. Those enable you or make it easier to combine different types.
Okay. That is actually good to know. That is pretty cool. So how was it in terms of, so in your perspective as a game designer, as building a narrative, but also making sure that everything works together exactly. How hard was it for you to make sure about that?
I'd say it's at first combining it, of course, with the narrative is rather difficult. But due to monsters being reborn in different lives and adapting to everyone around them, it made more sense in that way that they build themselves new each life they have. And experience it in new ways, but also keep the worthiness we gather game mechanically, like at every fight, at every end, each skill, trait, like every effect, basically your monster used it, healed others or prevented damage, was like the carry of the team. All of that works towards its worthiness growing. And the worthiness is the one thing that connects your monster when it, for example, comes back to show you. I'm also like nicknaming it, which we've implemented when starting early access. But that was one of the main things that shows you it's the same monster. You're training the same one. It's not a different monster, it's a different life of that monster. But still the same
Okay.
one, your monster.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. On the next one I will level up
Yes.
Jotun and then and about, so there is a certain RNG,
Yes.
which is, you mentioned. Oh no, okay. And
quick.
you mentioned this is something that, okay, once you pick certain things, you have a better chance of.
Oh yeah, the weight-based system. Yes.
Exactly. How do you manage that? Like, apart from this specific thing that it drills down, how do you make sure that everything is balanced and that, all the combinations can be interesting somehow?
Well, we started a very close development in Monster Sanctuary and kept growing a community. And due to our closeness to that community, we've established a bond between us and them.
Okay.
Them and us. And for Monster Sanctuary, for Aethermancer, for example, we started, once we were ready for that phase, to have an alpha phase with quite a lot of testers from our community. And after that, a beta phase with a smaller selection to really drill down on certain specifics, which are very adamant on showing us all the broken stuff we have in game and do a great job in that. Through that, through our community and also through going early access, we were able to receive like very broad feedback and are constantly pushing out balance changes. For example,
Right.
just in my case specifically, the final boss of our early access was changed quite a lot actually until it reached that point where it was on early access release, and as we do with pretty much all combinations of
Right.
skills we have. We have different channels for feedback in Discord. We have a hugely active Discord channel, which is such a cool, insanely cool community. Thanks to everyone, by the way, listening in here. You are absolutely awesome. We have different feedback, or an open feedback thread. We had a private one, the beta stuff, but for early access now we've made everything public, to have everything at one place. And we very often read in on that and try to be close to them.
Yeah, and I can imagine having such a strong community really helps out and really makes
Vastly helps. Yes.
To make sure that it's not just your vision,
Yes.
but it's also people are getting it, are having fun, and making sure that all the details are well made. I
Yes.
have here another. I have one comment and one question in the chat. I'm going to start with the comment, which is excellent pixel art and animation.
Thank you very much. Adam is absolutely awesome on the monsters, and we have other artists as well. Adam's the artist lead.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, because it really adds a lot of uniqueness to Aethermancer, right?
It was very important for us too, since Monster Sanctuary was pretty minimalistic, and we wanted to make this one bigger, more grand, and yeah.
And I have here a question from a very fan of Monster Sanctuary.
Nice.
Which is, are you guys full hands on this game, or are you still planning content for Monster Sanctuary?
At the moment, we are full on this game. We're fully drilling down on the development here. I don't actually know if some other stuff for Monster Sanctuary is planned. But as far as I know, we're fully concentrating at the moment on Aethermancer to make it as best as possible.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that at least for now, this is a priority.
Yes.
And you have released early access. You have your community. What I would love to know is what has been the general feedback about the game.
Overall, very positive. It was really, really cool. Some players don't like the corruption mechanic. Some do like the corruption mechanic. For all of you, this is the attrition mechanic we have, which partially, if how the way you manage it, it can weaken your monsters over time to make combats or past combats still matter in later
Right.
combats. We have ways, for example, of getting rid of that and managing it, but that's basically our attrition mechanic. We've implemented a way to reduce corruption you gain in combats or in general, and even turn it off entirely.
Okay.
As accessibility features, we still suggest, of course, playing without them. But if they dampen your experience, we have them in place, for example, to alleviate them or your worries, and with a lot of other accessibility features as well. But that was something we've specifically implemented after the feedback. Also, our
Yeah.
Chinese localization wasn't the greatest at launch, but we've also fixed a lot of that shortly after release, and still are. That was, I think, the most we received mixed feedback about. In general, the game was very well received, which was so awesome and so rewarding.
I can imagine. I can
Yeah.
imagine. Talking about accessibility, since this is a topic that you are working on, how do you manage to make sure that the game still, doesn't lose its essence while making it so more people can actually play it?
We basically we put that, like a lot of games, we put that into the settings where you have the option to turn that on. Of course, we suggest experiencing the game without some of them. One of the experiences, or one of the accessibility settings, of course, implemented was a colorblind mode, because we heavily rely on color, and we've received the feedback there. We've also had that like in our backlog, but we pushed that a bit forward before starting early access.
Right.
To get that in as well. We have a lot of things planned. We also released a roadmap for our early access content just alongside that, and our first updates for this quarter, the fourth quarter of 2025. We are solely focusing, or mainly like 98% focusing on quality of life to improve the game. For example, what we have planned is upcoming is combat speed. I can at least say that. To increase combat speed, because there was a very highly demanded request. Yes. Yeah, that's basically how we worked on that. And the game will get easier, for example, if you coming back to the corruption topic, the game will get easier the more you advance, because your monsters gain worthiness, which will make them more powerful, and you unlock meta upgrades, which will also help you passively or actively with, for example, getting new rerolls.
Yeah.
For leveling up here.
So let's talk a little bit about this. I do
Yes.
have another comment on chat, but I will, since we have a level up here. Um, I would love to hear a little bit of your insight about the specific actions and the specific level up.
Yes, I think we show that in the early access. This is the demo version. I think we show that in the early access version. The weight based on how likely this trait was to appear compared to others, for example. And here at the moment, we do not have a Maverick trait. We only have normal traits, or not trait actions, Maverick action and normal actions.
Yeah.
And on the bottom right, we see, for example, this is for weakness, and this one for tank. And if you pick this, it will be more likely for future leveling ups, or for future selections to show other weakness skills. But since the one at the top also features shields, it also increases a bit the
Oh.
likeliness of shields. Yes, because they are a part of that. Because some do feature others within their type, but do not really drill down on that as much. It's more like a side effect. And Mavericks really combine them. They make
Right.
sure these traits work together, and they are the glue.
Right.
Or these actions. They are the
I'm
glue
going to
between
take healing dust because I'm missing a healer here, so I think just being able to regenerate here and there might be a good idea.
Yeah,
Though I
makes
have
sense.
lots of shields with Jotun. And here, what am I going to? What would you suggest me to pick?
I think that's difficult at the moment because I didn't look up.
You're
You
not
can-
even checking. Okay.
If you want to, you can inspect your current team when you press F.
Right.
Yes, and now we can see what you've already picked. Rising Fire. All right, you drilled down on Burn. Okay, can you swap to the other team, the other one, please, Jotun, with E?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. You've grabbed Emergency Response. So if you turn, shields all allies for 2. Okay, so you distribute shields. Can you once more go to 1? Thank you. And you've picked Hexing Strikes. One at the one below.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, it's totally fine. Okay, you've drilled down on weakness. It's a lot spread out at the moment. But I think it would be quite good. Okay, you can, yes, to further drill down on Burn with Flash Burn.
Yeah, I
In
like the
order
fact
to-
that it's a free action.
Yeah. Yeah, you also don't have free actions yet, and if you have the mana,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
you
very
can use it, yeah.
useful.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. It's always easier to build a team when you go when you have overlapping types. But since they have no overlapping types, it's a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why we have Mavericks. And yeah, Mavericks have a likeliness of a base value, I presume 50% to appear on a level up selection screen.
Okay.
If there are any available, of course.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this alone right now. If someone dies in combat, I can come here and res
Yes.
someone else.
You can also swap out one of your monsters. That will remove all the corruption and summon the other one level above your highest. Not below one level below your highest, which is the trade-off basically. So you could technically swap out one of your monsters to go for a type overlap, but it's also more safe to have that as a backup if one monster dies too.
Yeah, I actually I've been using it like this.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. Especially when you start starting out playing the game or play like the first few runs. We have there. Looky there.
Okay, so let's see how this level up will work out. I think it's pretty cool. And in the meantime, the comment that I have here, it's on my experience. Whenever I reported any bugs or other issues, those got addressed pretty quickly, and the devs really do listen to their community. I played the game, and I can absolutely say that you can quickly lose track of time while playing it, especially when you're committed into the narrative and combination possibilities.
Nice. Thank you so much. It's so cool to hear that. Thank you.
And that is something that is very true. The combination possibilities that you have here are insane.
We have sorry.
Yeah.
We have I believe 443 skills in the game, which is quite a lot.
Quite a lot indeed. Okay. I'm not sure if this is the best.
It's pretty difficult because they all have fire poise, and only Cheruf can break fire poise at the moment, if I remember correctly.
But let's you know what? Let's do this.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I'm trying to play a little bit more defensive here.
Yeah. Also offensive because the burn, true.
Yeah.
Breaks Mandragora, right?
I love the mechanic of burn. I love dots in general. In every game that I play, so this is the kind of mechanic that I really like.
And Truth is perfect for you, yeah.
Yeah, it was my starter, so...
Nice. Oh, we also have 2 new starters in the early access. And there is, for example, Nixie. Would also work well because Nixie combines healing and poison.
Oh, that is interesting. That is very, very interesting. I mean, one of the things for sure is the kind of specific abilities that each of them have are insanely cool, right? Because there is so much that you can do. There is so much that with a specific monster here, but at the same time, oh dear, please don't die. Sorry, I got a little.
No, it's totally fine.
Because
I'm invested as well.
This is something that is very hard for me to play while speaking and not being, because I get really excited when I'm doing stuff in game.
I mean, it's a pretty strategic game also, so it quite occupies the mind. So.
But in any case, I was hoping that this guy would die.
It was really close, true. If you do that, Mandragora will die on burn.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that should work out because once Mandragora starts its turn or using its action, burn will kick in.
Yeah, but since they heal, I'm not entirely sure.
They only heal if they have regeneration. I believe Mandragora starts with regeneration.
Yes.
But the regeneration is used up already. Oh, that heal! Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I didn't see the action. Oh my god.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's completely fine. I was trying it out.
Oh no.
But this is something that you should be aware is like you can actually check what your enemies are going for.
Yes. Yeah,
and if you break them and if you interrupt them, you can also, strategize in that sense.
We're also working on improving the previews, the combat previews. which is one of the updates we are going to post in the quality of life fixes. We've also, I believe they're quite the same here. I believe. We've improved the combat preview already in the early access version. So we see exact damage numbers, calculations, how it's created, what affects what, for example. All of that pre-calculated so that you can always see it, even before it plays out. I 100% did not look out for the Mandragora here. But the other I was just like, what are you talking about? Mandragora doesn't heal at the moment. It doesn't have Dragon. And it's, I was focused on the other one, yeah.
But yeah, so this is the thing. So a question here: can you also see the turn order somewhere to strategize on things to avoid situations like this?
Yeah,
that is a good question, actually.
We thought about that. We are unsure I'm unsure at the moment if that is implemented in the new UI rework, or the combat preview rework. Or if we still not show that to have a bit of fluctuation in it. But it might be in there. I'm not sure what the rework entails fully.
Okay.
Or if that's in there. But yeah.
But yeah, so you were saying before, I think I've interrupted you with my little guy dying.
No, it's totally fine. I've lost track of what I wanted to say anyways. With the skills, like all the different skills we had. Oh yeah, and ether coverage is also important for breaking poise on enemies. But I forgot what I wanted to mention. I was thrown off guard as well.
Okay, so let's go for this combat, and hopefully it will go better.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's totally fine. You've only accumulated quite a little corruption, not a lot. So I think you're perfectly fine. Jotun, also the cool thing is for the signature trait. Right, we were talking about signature traits, the ones that make each monster specific.
Exactly. That was it.
Yes. For example, for Jotun, you've mentioned going for shield for defense. That's also offense for them, because Jotun retaliates the damage the shields receive. So that's a cool strategy to defend and also attack. When we design how the monster functions, we have a monster workshop in our company. Where we all get together, or everyone who wants to participate, and we brainstorm at least 1 hour, or for example 2 hours later on, we talk about stuff like that, and we see what direction we want to go with a monster, and that always entails, is it going to be a hybrid, is it going to be an attacker or a supporter? What elements do we want? What types do we want? And then, after all of that, what mechanics do we want to have? And the base of it comes down to what's going to be the signature trait. The starting actions also matter quite a lot. For example, one of our monsters can grant wishes, grant 3 wishes from early access. And that is a starting action. For example, you can use up more than once and have different effects with it. It's rather unique, but most of the time the signature trait is where the cool stuff of the monster comes from. And we all come together and really see what is coolest. What do we want to have? What do others want to have? And what fits that monster? And what do we also need? And based on that, we design our monsters. Yes, oh god, it's getting rather close.
dear.
Oh.
Okay, no, we're fine. We're fine.
Yeah. I think the two shall fall soon. So.
Oh, I have healing dust.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
really like to have this as a a way of just making
backup. sure
that I don't die.
Yeah. True.
Especially
Right.
when corruption starts to build up, which is something that
Yeah.
that happens.
Also, regarding corruption, we have. I'm not saying much, but our final boss for early access puts a nice twist on it.
Oh yeah.
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 That was exciting to work with.
And what else did you find, exciting to work with within the whole
The whole game, the project.
thinking? Either narrative, either game design itself.
I think the most exciting part was, I believe, the final boss for the demo. Alongside, because there was I had most of the responsibility on that. I've also had the ability to design most of pretty much all of the stuff from our next AOT, which was insanely cool. I had so much fun doing that, and what I also loved was playing the cutscenes. For example, the demo teaser at the end of the demo.
Yes.
Yes, which, for example, features our final boss for the early access, or like our current final run in there.
Okay, that is
access.
something cool to know. Now we are running. Our time is almost running up.
Oh yeah, true.
So, what I wanted to ask is there something that you still want to highlight about the game? That's something that we can show, that I can show here in this part.
I think we highlighted the demo. We have a lot more stuff from early access version, but I think the hub world. If you, for example, forfeit a run, I think walking through the hub world, or like Pilgrim's Rest, which is basically our version of the hub world, is also cool to see. Because our artists put a lot of thought into that, and I believe one object. Yes, I believe one object in there. If you walk to the right, and up to the right, one object. Yeah, now to the left now, and now to the top. Yeah, the water wheel right there. That is a fan favorite.
It is amazing. It is.
Yeah. Adam did such a good job with the pixel art.
Yeah, I mean the whole village is. I'm not sure. Again, one of the things that I tried a lot was to try to enter the.
Oh yeah, we have
the buildings.
Yeah, true. We haven't made rooms for that. I don't know if we plan to at a later point, or if we focus more on other stuff at the moment. But yes, we do have more NPCs joining the village in early access. In the demo, only a Certiberian joins at a certain point, but in early access, we do also have collectible NPCs. What I can say are certain NPCs you find in the void, and that join.
This guy.
Yeah, for example,
here.
true, like Paul. That join and stay in Pilgrim's Rest. Oh, true, right. The merchant's also here.
Yes.
Following you around, yes. And we have a few more joining. For example, the cook here will also join right before the restaurant. Gustavo, the mayor, and we do have a tiny cat at the bottom in early access, the early access version. Yes, that, for example, I had a lot of fun designing. Additionally to another more secret character, NPC, that you can find in secret rooms in early access, and that's a whole questline, let's say.
Okay, I will definitely get it. There is like cute animation. Love Gustavo. Gustavo, of course, it's a capybara, so it's awesome. I mean, the NPCs, they all have amazing looks and feelings, especially regarding what they do and what their role in the game is, right? Because here she lets you soulbound with people.
Yeah, where
with
you can
with monsters.
Yeah, where you can start and choosing one of the soul bones as your starting monster in a run. Yes, that is it is awesome.
That is something that you can, already not having the RNG, controlling a little bit the RNG there.
Also, during a run, we've reworked Lily a bit. Previously, for example, in the demo, she allowed you to either they have NPCs for us have different events, and she allowed you to have an event, for example, where you can swap an action, or an event where you can swap a trait of one of your monsters with a newly selected one. So if you don't like one, you can have reroll options to replace that. And we've now combined that to make her a bit more accessible for when you think, okay, maybe that one doesn't work with what I changed now. Now I can make a do-over. And it works with her monster bonding. She's very, this is in tandem with her narrative design. She's very close to monsters, liking them much more than others.
Yeah, that is something pretty cool. Now we will have to close, but before we do, is there any message that you like to leave here, either for your community, for fans of the previous game, or future players of Aethermancer?
First of all, thank you to everyone who played with us, who participated, who shared their experience with us. I can only speak for myself, but I can very sure say that everyone on our team insanely appreciates your support. We are so grateful for the community we've built with Monster Sanctuary, and now it gets to enjoy and experience Aethermancer with us and help us make the best experience we can. And to be a part of that, we are to have the ability to live and experience that is I can't describe that enough. It's insanely cool. Thank you so much.
And don't forget to wishlist it. Don't forget to go for the early access, or even try the demo, because within the demo you can already see a lot, and you will certainly fall in love with the game, as I definitely did.
Also,
Stefan,
the progress from the demo carries over to early access. So if you at one point decide you want to play, you can just continue.
Yeah, that is also a great thing to know. Stefan, thank you so much for your time here, and for all the knowledge, and for all the sharing. It was a pleasure to have you here talking about Aethermancer.
Likewise, thank you so much for having me.
We will have more games incoming up next, but we will go for a short break right now, and we will be right back.
See ya.
Welcome to the ever-expanding void, where monsters roam free, and the only one who can light their way once more is the Aethermancer. This world is full of monsters, with endless ways to combine their strengths. So, delve into the void. Ignite your monster's true potential. Become the Aethermancer.